Imagine if Justice League was nothing more than a glorified punching bag. Imagine Superman getting defeated by a simple whistle, 3 Flashes get beaten by Catwoman, Wonder Woman turned into a pathetically dysfunctional crybaby, and worst of all, Martian Manhunter becoming a masochist who gets turned on whenever he gets burned. Cause I guess nothing turns you on more than the thing that led to your whole family's death. But don't worry about it, he also feels guilty afterwards and cries after These are a few examples of Tom King's brilliant writing. The writer who's famous for being a former CIA agent and the guy who's currently helping James Gunn build his new DC universe despite the nepotism rumors and the controversies surrounding him. What controversies, you might ask? Well, for starters, he has a habit of ruining every character that had the unfortunate circumstance of coming across his writing. For example, he wrote Deathstroke, who's at core a morally great character, to have no sympathy for the human life and endanger the life of innocents, and nerfed him to the point where him and Deadshot together get one-tapped by Batman. You know, the guy who's admitted to having difficulty dealing with Wilson. He made Nightwing lose his memory despite years of characterization for nothing more than a shock value. Then had him change his name from Dick to Rick Grayson and call his old costume ridiculous. Made Mr. Terrific happy about the fact that he's lost his son cause he never wanted that kid. Made Solomon Grundy, a guy who won't stop coming after you even after he was ripped to pieces, give up following Batman after he slammed him to the ground.
I guess he took the hint.
But then he also buffed Catwoman to the point where she takes over the city, and at one point made Ivy capable of taking over the entire world, even though it was never even implied that she even had that sort of power in her. And that's not even a fraction of the damage he caused Batman. He made Bruce resent his father, the guy who's half of the reason why he is what he is, and completely took his detective skills away from him to the point where he just becomes a brute who punches his way to victory. For example, Batman didn't stop the gang war between Joker and Riddler, he was Kite Man. Batman didn't take any countermeasures against Bane when he was gone on vacation with Selina, which became a reason why Alfred got killed. And Batman didn't take it into account that he shouldn't propose to Selina cause she's an asshole who's gonna leave him at the altar and end up with another guy. I guess Tom King and Zeb Wells aren't so different after all. But this is not to say that Tom King is a bad writer, cause he's had some really great works done, like the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which is getting a big screen adaptation. In fact, he works really well for comic series with smaller issues. Cause the thing with small issue comics is that there are less plot holes and loose ends, so the conclusions can be more straightforward, in opposed to 100 issues of a Batman comic, which Tom King was first assigned to do. There's also his unique way of writing moments, where he has a 9-panel comic of Darkseid eating carrots, or Bugs falling out of the sky, or Joker doing expressions that just doesn't line with a longer comic. But his worst mistake by far has to be him writing a murder mystery comic beforehand, then finding a villain for it, which became a huge problem for him in Heroes in Crisis. And for those of you who don't know, that was the comic where Wally West becomes a serial killer, which tarnished the reputation of both character and the writer in the eyes of the readers. But having said all that, I can't help but to see Tom King as the guy who's thinking outside the box, as it was shown evidently in his Wonder Woman run, even though the comic series has mixed reactions. He loves to build the foundation of a character from suffering and trials and tribulations, which in my opinion can be a good addition to James Gunn's DCU if done right. But I'm curious to know what you guys think of him. Please let me know in the comments below, like and subscribe to all the good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.